but you can probably see what I'm very proud of as of right now, and that is this. What is going on, y'all? I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful day. Here on the farm, y'all, it is just a beautiful day. The sun's out. We do not have a cloud in the sky. Y'all look at Bandit over there soaking in the sun this morning. But how you guys doing today? Oh, I hope y'all having a wonderful day. Look at here. That is Nugget and that is Goldie out and about, not pacing the fences this morning. Just a wonderful sight. Brooke is feeding over there this morning. I'm fixing to go feed the boys here directly. Fall weather is finally setting in. Thank goodness. Thank goodness it's setting in. We've had enough of those 100+ degree weather that we had throughout the entire summer. I'm tired of it. So I'm loving the new change. I can tell y'all that. Which means with the cooler weather's coming in, we got to start on the fruit orchard. There's some stuff I need to do over there, and today is the perfect day for that. I'll explain all that to y'all in just a second. Let me get these guys fed before somebody gets put in time out. Y'all ready? Yeah, I know y'all are. What's up, fellas? How you guys doing this morning? So as most of you guys know, the crazy weather we had caused us to lose some fruit trees and some fruit bushes and some vines. And I'm wanting to replace those because the cooler temps are here, and now is the time you plant fruit trees or any trees, period, or fruit bushes or shrubs, roses, all those we plant here in the fall, and I'll explain why. All right, fellas, we're gonna get you here, sir. Yes, we are. All right, move man. There you go, Cap. So we plant, or that's when we like to plant, is in the fall, in late fall, and on up. We can actually plant on up until, mid-spring, really. And the reason why we do that is because everything goes dormant, okay? So everything's going to go to sleep on the outside. But down in the soil, the root systems will still continue to do their thing. So that's why planting your plants in the cooler months before the hot weather hits is so important, because it's less stress on the plant. It gives it time for the roots to get established. So when that hot weather comes, you're not dragging a water hose around everywhere or watering can or whatever, trying to keep the plant going. What's going on, honeymooners? I hear you, girl. I hear you. I'm getting it. I know you guys probably don't care. They go get the water. I gotta water your food. I know you guys probably don't care, but what you might. I'm not above sharing my bounty with y'all when the fruit trees start producing. No. I'm not above that. All right, there's one. There you go, Loretta. But we are gonna plant some fruit trees today. That's our plan. Well, not just trees, bushes, vines. Yeah, we gotta go look at the fruit orchard and see exactly what we need. But enjoy your breakfast, guys. Y'all look at here, we're having a stare off right here, a duel. So here I am in the fruit orchard, and let me show you guys what I'm thinking about. So right off the bat, this is our pear and persimmon row right here. Now I lost an Asian pear right here to fire blight. I don't think I can plant another Asian pear here because I'm scared it's gonna get fire blight again. But I'm not 100% positive about that. So I'll ask Jason over at Petals from the Past, and that is our local nursery that I love going to and using because it's beautiful. They have so many unique things there, and everybody that works there is so knowledgeable. And I'll just ask Jason, the owner over there, what he thinks I should plant here. I may have to plant something like another persimmon that's not as susceptible to fire blight as pears and apples are. But I'll just ask him and see what he thinks. So I got that spot there. Everything else is okay. My apple row, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna plant any more apples. You can see the apple trees are just looking awesome right now. Now these past couple years, I've really been focusing on growing my trees. They're not quite 2 years old yet. So going into next season, I'm hoping that I'll start getting, start focusing on producing fruit versus producing trees. Next row is my fig trees. Now, our fig trees got knocked all the way down because of that late frost we had. It knocked it all the way to the ground. So much so that I thought I had lost my fig trees. But we didn't lose any but one. I lost this one right here, which was a LSU Black. So I'm going to plant another fig tree here, and the one I'm thinking about planting is the O'Rourke fig, which is the improved Celeste. Now the Celeste fig I have mentioned before is probably a fig that your grandmother would have grown. It and the brown turkey, those were very, very popular here in the South and Southeast. And when you think of fig preserves that your grandmother would have made, that's typically one of the figs she would have used. I already have an O'Rourke fig here. It does very, very, very well. As a matter of fact, that's it right behind me. So I want another one. I want enough here that I could have the 2 O'Rourke figs that will produce enough figs that we can make a lot of fig preserves. And I actually got another spot for a fig. Now this one is called Green Esha, and I think I may grow another one of these. This is my favorite eating fig, and I'll show you why. It's green on the outside. The inside is strawberry red. Can y'all see that? This fig here is fruity and sweet. I love it. I love it. So I think I'm gonna get another Green Esha, and it does well. I could sit here and eat these Green Eshas all day long. They're that good. They are that good. And remember guys, a tip about buying figs. Figs grow really, really fast. If possible, always buy a 1 gallon fig. Don't buy the 3, don't buy the 5. So a 1 gallon fig will really, really take off in a matter of months. It really will. So don't waste your money on a 3 and 5 gallon fig. If your nursery offers a 1 gallon, always go for the 1 gallons. Don't let it fool you. Now over here was my hardest hit row that we had by far. This was my blueberry row. I lost 8 blueberry bushes in between the drought and in between the 2 crazy freezes we had. This is my blackberry row. I don't think we'll have time today, but it is time to start pruning our blackberries back. So I'll show you guys that in another video if I can't do it today. I did a video on it last year. It's called We Gave Them a Haircut. If you search that, you'll find it and how we did this last year. Also, if you want a more in-depth, detailed about how to do the blackberries and who taught me how to do it, search pruning blackberries and put Petals from the Past in there. Dr. Powell, who is Jason's dad over there at Petals, he's done, I bet, 6 videos on how to prune blackberries and why he does it. So there's you some options there as well if you want to know how to do that before I get a video out. We got muscadines. I lost 1 muscadine right there, so I'm going to replace it. I got table grapes. I lost 1 table grape right there, so I plan on replacing it. And we got kiwi right here. And I lost, let's see, did I lose 2 kiwi? So I lost 2 kiwi bushes, or vines. So I need to replace those guys as well. That's my plan, but I want to show you guys my arbor and the roses and how well the roses are doing. Oh my gracious. While we're over here, I got to show y'all. Now, looking right here, I do got to put some more pine straw out. I know that. But looking right here, you can see my drift roses on my bank here. These were all 1 gallon plants, and look how big they are. They're huge, really, really big. You also can see our rose swag is coming on. This one's almost to the top right there of my pole, and I'll start training it to go down the swag, the wire. So I think next year, this will really, really look beautiful. We're going to continue on with the roses, but I'm not going to buy those today because I know I'm not going to have enough time. But I'm going to go all the way to the end of that bank over there with these drift roses. And probably next year, this whole bank side will just be filled in. I don't think you'll see any of the mulch, which again, I need to put some mulch down. It's on this hill, it's kind of hard. The dogs love running through there, believe it or not. So it kind of pushes my mulch down. But I think next year, you probably won't even see the mulch. This whole area will just be covered in pink drift roses. But you can probably see what I'm very proud of as of right now, and that is this new arbor. So we had Roberto here doing some odd and end things for us and Brooke's mom. A few little items that never got finished when the house was done. And while he was here, I just had this bright idea to have this beautiful arbor entryway going into the Alabama parterre garden. And y'all, look how it turned out. It is just, I love it. I love it. And my plan is to plant a rose on this arbor and this fence here. And the rose I'm wanting to plant is called Lamarck. It's a beautiful white climbing rose. It's got a small, tight bloom, and it's a repeat bloomer, so it should bloom all year long except when winter hits. And it smells wonderful. So that means that this whole area here will be covered in a white rose. Here's one thing that I've learned about this soil that I have. Roses love it. And this is the proof right here. My drift roses are doing wonderful. My American pillar roses that are growing on my swag is doing wonderful. And let me show you something else. I just got to show y'all. Oh, plus look, we put our bottle tree in. We did this yesterday. I thought this was a perfect spot for the bottle tree, and I really do think it is. I told Brooke yesterday, I said, look, I want to put the bottle tree right here. She was so excited. She was like, let's do it. So we did do it. I do need to take the bottles off and wash them and clean them, but I wanted to see what it would look like, and it looks great here. We got 2 more we need to put up somewhere, but I love this one right here. But look at these pink drift roses again. So you can see how wonderful these roses are doing. I have not watered these roses at all this summer, or the American pillar roses here this summer. Once a rose gets established, they're extremely drought tolerant. And I think that's something that people really don't know about roses. They are drought tolerant. But this American pillar rose, it has just taken off. Now, I did this a week ago, so it's grown a foot basically in a week. And look, I need to keep training it again. Look at that. And then again, it's gonna climb up this post, and then I'm gonna train it to go down this wire, and it's gonna make like a swag, which will just be this whole area here. One giant rose swag. But I do have one more rose that I got growing on this fence, and you can see I'm training it to grow on this fence. And this one's called Zephyrin Druin, another beautiful rose. It's doing really, really well here. Again, this is another heirloom antique rose, and it has really, really taken off. Again, this is another rose I have not watered at all during this hot, extremely dry summer we've had. Zero watering whatsoever. And you can see it has just taken off. And remember, this was a 1 gallon rose that was about this high when I planted it in the spring. And look at it. Just beautiful, 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 beautiful. And I got one more right here that we're training on this fence. So that is my plan today, to plant 2 roses and get the fruit orchard replanted, head over to Petals and get what we need, and take you guys along with us throughout the day and just have a fun day on the farm. And I can't wait. I can't wait. This is what I love doing. I just love it. All right, y'all, got everything done here on the farm. We're headed over to Petals from the past, our favorite nursery. Going to see Jason, get our fruit trees and fruit bushes and such picked out, come back to the house and have a planting party. So while we're out here at this glorious nursery, look who we ran into. Look at here.
Hey, hey, hey.
Oh, Tracy at Just Dig It Farms. And,
imagine meeting up here.
Ain't that true?
Our favorite place.
Our favorite place.
We haven't seen her since the Great Fall Garden Festival. And look, we come for a visit.
Yes.
Yep.
And she's here.
Yep.
She used to work here, but she doesn't work here any longer. She's actually here to shop.
Just
like
shopping
we are.
here. But when I'm here, I usually end up working.
Well,
I write some tickets and.
Yep, you make yourself useful.
I must still look like I work here because everybody always asks me a question. And I was like, well, okay.
Well, I will tell you this: if I wear my sun hat and I come here, I'll get stopped and asked.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yep.
Every time. I'm like, no, I don't work here. Sorry.
Well, if you guys are gardeners
yes.
and you do not watch Tracy from Just Dig It Farms, get yourself on over there
Absolutely.
and check her out because
yes.
she is one of the most knowledgeable garden friends.
A mentor of ours.
Yes.
Yes.
Very much so.
Sweet.
Help design our parterre garden and our potager garden and what we're doing in the front too. So yeah. Absolutely.
Y'all go over and tell her thank you, Cog Hill sent you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And just continue to follow her, and I guarantee you'll learn a little something.
Oh, thank you, Brooke. Yep. We'd love to have you on our channel.
Okay, so we just talked to Jason about planting a pear tree where the fire blight was, and he said that was perfectly okay, that fire blight does not live in the soil, it's airborne. So we don't have to worry about it if we replant another pear there. That was perfectly fine. And we're going with a Shinko Asian pear. He said they tend to be more resistant to fire blight versus the Hatsui. So that's what we're going with, and we're about done. We're going to get everything here loaded up, head back to the house, and start planting in the fruit orchard. Did it fit?
Well, I gotta push it up a little bit.
Oh, okay. Oh, it did fit. Yeah, we were worried about the pear tree, but
the 1 gallons are of no concern.
We got it.
Hey, we got more room. You want to go back?
You know I would. Except I gotta go plant them all.
That's right.
All right. Perfect. Alrighty, so we are home back from the nursery. I got the plants loaded in the side-by-side. I'm fixing to drop these guys off at the orchard, run to the greenhouse, get a few bags of compost, and get these babies in the ground. I think it's gonna be best if I go on and get everything set out where it needs to go instead of just dumping it all out. That's my pear, that's my Shinko. Let's go put our figs out, and then our blueberry bushes, and then our grape, and then our kiwis. Then we'll go get the things that we need so when we plant. We're not really gonna fertilize anything But I am gonna put some lime in, and I'll explain all that here in just a second. All right, our green is just gonna go first, and then our O'Rourke's gonna go second. And there's our O'Rourke fig right there. And I'll give you some more details on how we do things here, spacing and all that kind of good stuff when we get to planting. Next up is our blueberries. And I learned at Petals today from Jason that blueberries have a very shallow root system. So if anything that will get hurt by the drought or a drought, it is blueberries. And it's partly my fault, and I'll explain why here in just a few. But learn from your mistakes. All right, here come our kiwis right here. And lastly is my last table grape, Foxy Lottie. That's got to be one of the best names ever for a plant, let alone a grape. Foxy Lottie. I just absolutely love that. And it's an Alabama grape, which makes it even more awesome. And my muscadine, which is a native grape here in the South. Now my beautiful Lamarck rose. I don't think some of you guys have may seen this rose, but this is the climbing rose. That's not a pretty, well, the bud. It's not a pretty one because this one's fading, but this is what the rose looks like. Smells unreal. And this is a repeat bloomer, so it will bloom all season, except in the wintertime. We will get a few blooms here and there in the winter, but it won't be, you know, big time beautiful. But this is the rose that we are growing on our arbor behind me. Lamarck. All right, I think I'm gonna put this one right here. And I think I'm gonna put this one right here. And now that leaves me the opportunity now to plant something right in here that may do well. I'm not for sure what that'll be, but I'll do some research and find out. But now this rose is gonna grow. That will be my backdrop, and this will be like a front-facing plant, and the rose will be my foundation plant, and it'll grow over this arbor and be quite spectacular. Before we get started, I'm changing my shirt. It was like mid to high 40s early this morning, and now the sun's out. It's on in the afternoon, and it's warming up. So I'm gonna put me a short sleeve shirt on before we start planting, and we're gonna get started. All right, so first up is our Shinko pear, which is an Asian pear. Let me show you guys that don't know what an Asian pear looks like. You know, a lot of people say an Asian pear reminds them of a cross between an apple and a pear, and I can see that. To me, they taste better than the European pears, but that's just me. These guys get huge, they're extremely juicy, but one cool thing about Asian pears, like if you like pears in a salad or on some type of a snack board or anything like that, you can cut these guys up and they don't turn brown like a pear or apple does. So Asian pears are awesome. They really are. If I had my choice between Asian and European, I would definitely choose the Asian pear over the European, but that's just in our area, in our climate. You may favor European pears over the Asian ones, but love Asian pears. You ready?
I'm ready. Should I go ahead and get it out of the pot?
You can, and I need to get our hole here again. Got a few weeds popping up, but nothing major. You know, this area here, I mean, we do have some weeds here and there, but it's not near as bad as some other areas that we have weed mat down.
Well, I think it's probably because we built the area up.
Yeah, that's true too.
Versus, you know, it being at ground level.
Right.
I may be wrong, but that's my speculation. All
right, so you usually want your hole twice as big as your root ball that you're planting with. So this is your root ball right here. So you want your hole width-wise about twice as big. But one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to dig too deep. You want it to be either level with a root ball, which would be, you know, level with a root ball right here, or it can be, you know, an inch, a half inch, something like that, above or below the root ball, I should say. You know, right around in here. But you don't want it up here because it could cause your tree to rot right here, and it can stunt its growth as well.
So you're saying too deep is not a good thing?
Too deep is not a good thing at all. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of compost in there. All right, so I'm gonna put just a little bit of lime in this, and that is because I have very acidic soil. If you do not know what your soil is, do not put lime when you're planting, because you could do just the opposite of what you want to do. You could have a more alkaline soil, and adding lime is going to make that worse. So how do I know, Jason? How do I know what type of soil do I have? Let me show you. You have to have your soil tested. Now there's two ways I know that you can do this. One is go try to find your county extension office, ask them for a soil testing kit. Generally, they'll give you the kit. You read the instructions on what to do. You'll send that soil testing kit off typically to a university or ag school, wherever they have deemed to test soil. Or, Jason, I don't know where my county extension office is. I've went there before and I didn't get any help or something like that. There is a second option, and this one's easy as well. Grower Solutions, the great people over there, the family-owned greenhouse company that also does garden supplies as well. Grower Solutions has a soil testing kit that you can get from them. And I'll put a link down below for you guys, and you can go over there and get it. And it's basically the same concept. What you'll do is they got all the information here for you. You'll take a sample of your soil, fill all this out. It tells you where to send it off. Matter of fact, it's already got the postage already paid and everything, and the address, everything already filled out for you. So if you're curious to know what your soil is for gardening, for fruits, or whatever, Grower Solutions has an easy kit that you can do without having to go to your county extension office or university, and that may make it easier for some other people. So we're adding just a little bit of lime in there. We're going to add some compost in there. I like to do a 1-to-1 ratio with compost in your native soil. All right, now, no fertilizer. We're not going to fertilize right now in the wintertime or fall. We'll do that when spring and summer hits. All right, Brooke has loosened up the roots on our root ball here. As you guys can see, some of them are a little tough. When you loosen up the roots, be gentle. Don't go in there and just start ripping roots loose. Just kind of be gentle. When I put that compost in there, and I want to turn my tree so I can get it the right way. That's good right there for our trellis system up here. Because as you guys know, we grow our fruit trees on a wire system here, and I went into great detail about this whole process a couple of weeks ago in a video, so I'll try to put a link to that below as well. Now we're going to just backfill it right here. You can see our root ball, that's the top of our root ball is right here, so we're a little bit even, or actually just a hair higher, which is okay. All right, now we're going to put our soil back in there. And there we go. We're good now. Perfect. I got drip irrigation over here. I'm going to set that over there. Put our mat back over here.
When we get them all planted, will you turn the drip on to give them a good dose of?
Yeah, we're going to put the drip on. The Shinko is in. Now, our Asian pears. If you're wanting to know about spacing on our pears and apples, they are 15 foot apart, and on this trellis system like I got it, I would say anywhere from 12 to 15 foot. But again, every farm's different, every homestead's different. So if you need to plant them closer, you can, but I probably wouldn't go less than 10 foot, honestly. Our fig trees are the same. We got them around 12 to 15 foot apart. Figs, again, can get really, really big, especially if you don't prune. And we do keep ours pruned down. But I really only want about 7 to 10 of these branches. I don't want all of this in here. I want to cut all that out. I want to have 7 to 10 of these main leaders, and that's it, really. And again, what that'll do, just like everything else that we do, when we prune like that, it's going to force more energy into making fruit versus making more branches. And I can't help myself. I'm gonna have to eat this one.
What do you think?
That'll work. All right.
What you doing, girl? Come to help?
Okay, so here is the perfect example of why you would want to test your soil. We're fixing to plant blueberries. Here's the thing about blueberries. They love acidic soil, which is what we got. I will not add any lime to these guys because I want them to be in that acidic soil. Now our blueberry bushes are 8 foot apart, and the ones we bought were Climax, Premier, and I brought Brightwell. While Brooke's digging that hole, I want to tell you one other thing too. The leftover pots, if you don't take rootings or regrow your own plants and that kind of thing, don't throw these guys away. Take them back to the nursery. They'll sanitize them, clean them up, sanitize them, and they can reuse them. So it keeps these guys out of the landfill, and it will help your local nursery out a good bit as well.
Not at all.
I think that's good. And you may be wondering, why would you plant different varieties of blueberries? Well, they're like a lot of other fruits that we grow here. They have different times that they actually produce fruit. So you got an early season blueberry, you got a mid-season blueberry, and you have a late season blueberry. So when you go to your nursery and you're wanting to grow blueberries and you're wanting to stagger those different fruiting times, ask your nursery about it, and they should be able to lead you in the right direction as to which varieties you should grow. Now we're at our muscadine row, which is again a native grape here in the south and southeast. Really common here. It's not your typical grape that you would have like at a grocery store or anything like that. It's extremely sweet. They get pretty big, and if you're not used to this style grape, some people don't like the texture of it because it's kind of gooey.
It's kind of squishy.
It's kind of squishy.
It's not like a grape squishy. It's just,
yeah.
It is a totally different texture.
Almost slimy, I would say.
But it's so good, to me.
It is, because we've grown up with them, you know. I would think almost everybody's grandparents, or they at least knew somebody's grandparents that had a muscadine vine on their fence or in their backyard somewhere.
Well, I love them, and I'm so happy that we will have
an
abundance of them.
They will make one of the most delicious homemade jellies you will ever eat. There's nothing like Grandma's muscadine jelly, I can tell you that. Now these guys are 20 foot apart. This is the most spaced out plant we have here on the farm. 20 foot. These guys get huge and they will just grow like crazy. We haven't got the trellis system installed yet, but we will be doing that later on in the next month or so, pretty soon. Now the thing about muscadines that you need to know is that there are male and female varieties, and there are self-pollinating varieties. Again, talk to your local nursery, because you don't want to be stuck with a male and have no female, or you don't want to be stuck with a female and have no male. So again, talk to your local nursery and they should advise you on which types of muscadines you should plant. And they come in two colors, purple and gold. Some people call the gold or the bronze ones scuppernons, but they're all muscadines, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is Foxy Lottie. There should be a hole here somewhere because I lost what grate. Here it is.
Oh,
right there.
just wasn't down far enough, was
Yep. I already got one of these planted, but y'all, I'll go show it to you when I get through planting this one. That grape was half the size of this one when I planted it. And boy, did it get hit by the freeze.
But it obviously came back strong.
Oh my gosh. I'm fixing to show it to everybody. It is unreal what it looks like.
Is it the first one?
It's the first grape.
Well, I had a feeling that's the one it was. Just by looking.
So this grape was really down to nothing in the spring. I mean, literally, there was nothing left of this grape except one little green twig about this big. And y'all look at this thing now. I mean, look at it. It is gorgeous. It is huge. So this is the reason why. Plus, it's an Alabama grape. It's from our state. And look how it's thriving. And I was like, I got to plant another one. I got some more bunching grapes down through here, but I just love that Foxy Lottie. So last in the fruit orchard are our kiwi, and this is the Isaiah Hardy. And again, this is a self-fruiting kiwi. This is another plant that I would ask my local nursery about, because there are male and female varieties and you would have to have both. And there are self-fruiting varieties like this one where you don't have to have a male and female. And this is called a hardy kiwi, which typically means it has the smooth skin. It's not the fuzzy type, which MaryCarl loves. Oh, you got me a hole down there ready?
You know, I think when we have people over and they want to see the fruit orchard and they ask what we have planted, I find that more times than none, people that are from Alabama are amazed that we can grow kiwi.
So if you guys were wanting to know how much to space these by, again, the bunching grapes are about 8 foot apart. The kiwis are 10 to 12 foot apart, and they will both be grown on a trellis system. So last up is our Lamarck roses. And here's the thing about roses when planting roses. Do not plant them too deep. If you plant a rose too deep, most of the time it will stunt its growth. It'll stay the size, it'll produce blooms, it'll look beautiful, but it doesn't do anything. It just sits there. That's one main tip that I can tell you about roses when you first plant them. The main thing is do not plant them too deep. All right, there, Lamarck, let's get you planted here. And I'm going to do this the same way. I'm going to dig me a hole twice as big as my root ball, or twice as round as my root ball, I should say. I'm going to add a little bit of compost, a little bit of lime, and plant it. And I'm not going to worry about training it or anything right now. I'm just going to let it be. But once the roots take off and get established, this rose will start doing its thing. And then we'll come back and prune it and start training it to grow on this fence and up this arbor. Whew. All right, y'all. Got the last plant in for today. I'm gonna cut the water on in the fruit orchard and get stuff watered over there. And the plants that don't have any drip irrigation on them, I'm just gonna hand water for today, until we can get the drip put in, which will be really soon. Drip irrigation is really easy once you get a good water source. The irrigation part it's really simple to install. Well, y'all, I surely enjoyed hanging out with you guys today out here in the parterre garden and the fruit orchard. You know, I love hanging out and talking about roses and gardening. I could do it all day. And it was an honor to be with you guys today. And I can't wait to see you guys on the next episode. Y'all be good.